Hi there, everybody, and welcome to ZCodeSystem. Here we developed automated systems to help you win big. It doesn't matter what sport you're betting on, we've got you covered. Before we get into some NBA action for December the 2nd, I want to invite you to join, and you'll have access to the VIP Club section and see all these tabs across the top as tools to help you make your picks. Okay, so let's dive right into it. There's 4 games, and the first one on the list is Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. The Heat come in average up, winners of 4 out of their last 6. While Boston is burning hot, winners of their last 6. Boston with the second best record in the Eastern Conference. If you take a look at the over-under, the teams are trending in games mostly under the line. 2 out of the last 3 for Boston under, and 3 out of the last 4 for Miami is under. The score prediction has Boston by a 14-point margin, 124 to 110. The confidence in the prediction is sitting at 67%. On the power ranks indicator, you can see Boston up at the top here at plus 29. And you can see Miami here is up and down. They're currently at plus 15. If you look at the stability factor, how consistent are both teams playing, you see Boston is very consistent with regard to their favorite underdog status at plus 12 compared to plus 6 for the Heat. If we take a look at a couple other things here, if we look at the head-to-head matchups, the teams have not yet met this season. Another thing to consider is the home and road records. Boston is 7-2 at home, and Miami is 5-4 on the road. And Boston also has a decided edge of plus 10.6 to plus 1.1 in scoring differential. Therefore, I think this is going to be a Boston game, but I'm going to pass on the over-under. Okay, the Pelicans and the Hawks. The Pelicans coming in, what can you say? 6 straight losses, dead status. Atlanta ice cold up, 3-3 over their last 6, and they have won their last 2. Pelicans with the worst record in the Western Conference. If you look at the over-under, New Orleans under in the last 4, and Atlanta over in 3 out of the last 4. The score prediction is all Atlanta, not surprisingly, 126 to 105. Confidence in the prediction is relatively high at 71%. Atlanta at plus 10, and New Orleans at plus 1 on the Power Ranks indicator. The teams did meet earlier this season, back on November the 3rd, and that was Atlanta winning by 15 on the road. So an easy win for them on the road in that one. Let's take a look at a couple other things. The only other thing I actually want to look at is the scoring differential, which is not surprisingly very bad for New Orleans. In fact, worse than the NBA at minus 11.8. So therefore, I like the Hawks probably easily by double digits in a game over the line. The Lakers and the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves coming in surprisingly bad at the moment. Losers of their last 4. 2-4 then in the last 6, and they're 8-10 on the season, while the Lakers are 11-7 on the season, coming in average status, breaking a 3-game losing streak recently with a win. If you look at the over-under, the teams are trending in games on opposite sides of the line, with the Lakers under in the last 3, Minnesota over in the last 2. Minnesota is predicted here, but only 31% confidence in this prediction of 114-112 over the Lakers. On the power ranks, you can see the up and downward trend. The Lakers were up at 29. They dipped down to 20 or 17. They're back up to 20, while Minnesota is sitting here at plus 8. Head-to-head, the teams met on October 22nd. This was the Lakers at home as a home underdog, actually slight home underdog, and they did win this one at 110 to 103. Minnesota's 5-4 at home, and the Lakers are 4-5 on the road. Minnesota, surprisingly, even though the Lakers have a better record, Minnesota has a better scoring differential edge of plus 1 to minus 0.9. So I like the Timberwolves to get back on track, but I'm going to pass on the over-under bet. And the last game for the day is the Brooklyn Nets and the Chicago Bulls. Brooklyn comes in burning hot, winners of the last 3, and the Bulls are averaged down 3-3 over the last 6. The over-under, it's been trending slightly over, 4 out of the last 6 for Chicago and 3 out of the last 6 for Brooklyn. The score prediction is by Brooklyn by 8, 122 to 114. Again, the confidence in the prediction, though, is still rather low at only 49%. On the power ranks indicator, a big climb here for Brooklyn recently, and then they leveled off. They're at plus 17, and then leveling off of Chicago over the last couple of days at plus 9. The only other thing we can look at here was a couple other things, but I'm going to look at the fact that Chicago is only 2-6 at home, and they have a minus 5.7 scoring differential edge. Although the Nets are not good at scoring differential, it's better than the Hawks. They are -2. Excuse me, the Hawks, the Bulls. I don't know why I said the Hawks, but the Bulls. Head-to-head, the teams did meet earlier with Chicago losing as a road underdog. Brooklyn winning by 8 back on November the 1st. Let's see the stability factor. How consistent are the two teams? You can see Chicago is much more consistent right now at +5 compared to +2, although you see Brooklyn was at +5, and recently they stumbled as far as that goes, meaning that they haven't been consistent with regard to their favorite underdog status. So in the end, though, I like the Bulls to take this one at home and in the game going over the line. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 4 games for the NBA for December 2nd. Happy betting and see you again next week.